right, good morning, folks. It is 6:45 in the morning down here in South Jersey. An absolutely gorgeous New Jersey summer morning. And well, today, obviously we're in the kayak, fishing a new location. I've never fished this spot before, and we're hopefully gonna catch a bunch of different fish here. So game plan for today is to really explore this spot and ideally hone in on one species, maybe two. But first, we gotta find ourselves some bait, because so far it's been a struggle to find some bait. I just toyed around a little bit trying to find some fiddler crabs. So far only generated 2. Let's go see if we can't find ourselves some bait. All right, so priority number 1 this morning is gonna be see if we can't find ourselves some fiddler crabs here along the marsh at low tide this morning. Conditions look beautiful to fish, but we got no bait to do so. So probably gonna have to work pretty hard here to find ourselves some crabs. Oh, I found them all. A zillion crabs over there. These holes should definitely have some crabs too. Oh. Little fiddler. Little fiddler. There's one. Giant crab right there. Boom, there's one. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, there's a good one. All right, that should be a good start for now. Make sure we put all this dirt back. When the tide comes up, it'll even out. We really don't disturb the environment that much. Oh, there's a crab lurking right back there. Sometimes it pays to get your hands a little dirty. So folks, we had to work for them, but we got our hands dirty. We was able to generate maybe a dozen or so fiddler crabs, which are an absolute delicacy for sheepshead, our primary target for the day. So right now, I'm just inching up on this bridge right here. The location I drove to this morning is a little bit farther south than where I normally fish. So the sheepshead population should be bigger here as there's warmer water temperatures, better environment to host these sheepshead. And again, that's our primary target for today and the species I really hope to catch a bunch of. Also brought some fluke gear out here as well, because we're out in the bay, we can jig up some fluke, probably gonna run into some tog as well. And you never know what'll swim by out here. So again, an early start out here this morning. It is an absolutely gorgeous day. I mean, there is not a lick of wind in the air. So with all that being said, let's get our kayak up there on the bridge and well, get to fishing. So folks, right now we're battling a little bit of what's left of the incoming tide. I mean, it's still moving at a decent clip here, but high tide is in about an hour and a half or so, and that slack tide period is really when we should find ourselves the best bite. So in terms of our setup here, we're fishing a 4,000 size Pisky Fun Naughty X. Huge shout out to Pisky Fun for sponsoring this video, actually. I tried this reel out on my last kayak trip, and I'm actually a pretty big fan. It has plenty of muscle, decent drag, pretty smooth reel to really battle these sheepshead, and I caught some decent sheepshead on the last trip. But hopefully today we can do even better. So let's take our little 3/4 ounce tog jig right here. Let's grab ourselves a nice juicy fiddler. Actually got some pretty decent ones. Oh yeah, that guy will do just perfect right there. We're just gonna bait him right through the back leg right there, out the back of the shell. Ideally looking to keep this guy alive and squirming around on the hook. And we just wanna get our nose right up there along that piling, which requires a little bit of maneuvering here in this current. All right, so let's take our fiddler crab right here. Looks like we got a decent slack pile of water right there. Just gonna cast that guy right back there. Let him sink. And the hard part is just keeping our jig in the same spot, especially here on the slack tide. Oh shoot. There we go, bait's down. See if we can't get bit at our first spot. Well, actually, I'm getting bit already. But we're moving, damn. And just like that, lost our first bait. So let's get a better positioning there on the bridge. One quick bite already. So, good to know there's life down here. Yeah, buddy. Oh man, I'm surprised I didn't get yanked out of the kayak right there, but that works. Let's grab ourselves another fiddler. That guy's a good sized one right there. Boom, perfect hooks job. Look at that bait right there. And let's drop this guy down. Be a little easier to fish once that current slacks up, but just dropping down here. Feels like it's about 15-ish feet deep. I'm gonna drop it all the way down to the bottom. Maybe more like 30 feet deep here, actually. Just got bit on the way down. I don't know what we got here. Feels like a tog. Yeah, definitely a tog right there. Oh, nice tog, dude. Our bait didn't even have time to get to the bottom. That's a nice fish right there. All right, well, not a bad first fish right there. That's a keeper tog all day. Probably around 16 inches or so, but unfortunately it is close season for these guys until August 1st, so pop that jig out. And yeah, that is a beautiful rusty little crab muncher right there. Send this guy back. Boom, there he goes. Not the striped fish we were looking to catch, but first crab muncher on the board is a nice healthy tog, and they're chewing that fish. This bait did not even have time to get down to the bottom, so let's get back over there. All right, there we go. Another healthy fiddler right there. Let's drop this guy back into that eddy. That's a tog there. Another plump little tog right there. Woo. Quick release, see you, buddy. The tog are definitely chewing. Try a tiny little crab here. There we go. Little micro tog right there. Getting plenty of bites in there, but I'm thinking most of these fish are just smaller tog, just robbing me of my crabs. So send that guy back. Let's go try on this side over here. Oh yeah, look at this, bro. This looks so good right here. All right, let's drop this crab down to the bottom here. This is a very juicy looking spot. Probably a little bit shallower than the last spot we fished. 20 or so feet deep here. Oh, we're already on. Oh, that's a fish. It's either a big tog or sheep. That's a sheep there. That's a sheep, dude. First drop. First drop. First drop, baby. All day, sheep. Oh, it's a bass. Is that a striper? No way. No way. No way, dude. Oh my God, come on. Oh, it's a striped bass. No freaking way. Oh yeah, that's a good fish there, baby. That's a beautiful striper. Come on, buddy. Yeah, buddy, come on, come on. Gonna need a bigger net. Wasn't expecting to catch you guys. Come on. Get in there. There we go. Woo. Well, that is not the striped fish we were looking for, but that is a beautiful late summer back bay striper right there. Absolutely gorgeous fish. Let's get a little bit better lighting on this guy, but check that guy out. Smoked the fiddler crab on the way down. Again, was not expecting to catch this guy at all. Probably a little 24-incher there. Let's send him back. What a beautiful, beautiful fish. Let you get all revived over here, buddy. Nice and charged up. Boom. And there we go, healthy release. So That guy smoked a fiddler crab on the drop down. Thought it was a sheep's head. I mean, that's how they fight with those long screaming runs, but it did feel a little bit weird. All right, nice. Really nice sized fish right there. And nice to have a nice surprise catch here in the middle of the day. Only thought I was gonna catch sheep's head and tog so far, so there we go, another species into the mix. Let's get back up on that pylon over there. That spot looks juiced, and yeah, I bet there's a lot more fish over there as well. You. Oh yeah, still got my crab on there, don't I? Give me that fiddler back, bro. The tog are just vicious down here. No doubt in my mind there's some sheep's head around, but it's just impossible to get them with all those tog chewing. There's a good fish. Feels like a tog. Definitely a tog, but might be a nice one there. That might be a sheep, actually. That's a good fish there. Nope. Big old plump tog. Yeah, another gorgeous tog specimen right there. This guy probably pushing 16, 17 inches. A couple more weeks and these guys will be legal, but let's see what he would tape out to anyways. Yep, that guy will go 16.5 inches there. Beautiful fish. And see you, buddy. The tog are chewing. No doubt in my mind there's some sheeps down there, but it is just a race, whatever bites first. Just gonna have to play the game of chance today. Drop baits down, get bit, and swing on whatever bites. Oh my God. It's not even a big fish. Oh my God, that had to have been one of the dumbest things I've ever done. This fish almost just cost me an entire reel and a custom rod. That would have been not very fun. Oh man. See ya, buddy. Yikes. Looks like the caffeine's wearing off this morning. All right, so the morning's off to a pretty decent start so far. Had some real nice action underneath the bridge, catching some nice sized tog, as well as that surprise striped bass. Unfortunately, haven't ran into any sheep's head as of yet, but we just ran through all of our fiddler crabs right here, probably about 2 dozen or so. So we fished the end of the incoming tide, fished the start of the outgoing tide, and right now the outgoing tide is really starting to pick up, making it a little more difficult to fish underneath the bridge. So for now, it's time to retire from the bridge, move on to our next target species of the day, which is gonna be summer flounder. So we just rigged up our Pisky Fun Lumex here with bucktail and teaser. So game plan for the rest of the outgoing tide right here is gonna be do some bottom jigging on our Pisky Fun Lumex right here, and we'll hopefully get some fluke, maybe even some keepers into the kayak. So new target acquired. Let's see how we do. You. We somehow just stumbled into this eddy right here off this point, and this looks so freaking fishy. So we're not going to do the traditional drift. We're just going to cast out our bucktail, jig. There's definitely going to be some fluke lurking around here. There we go. Oh, look at that. That is not what I thought I'd catch. That gives me a pretty good idea of how to target these guys. That was a little tiny spike weakfish right there, but there's a whole bunch of turbulence here, and I bet there's a whole bunch more fish lurking down there. Our traditional fluke setup is just a little bit too boring here for this spot, so let's chop this rig off real quick and see if we can't capitalize on this really cool concurrent break. All right, folks, we chopped off our bucktail teaser rig and threw on this little 1/4 ounce jig head with a gold fluke on the back right there. And this is typically what I'll throw when I'm surf fishing for a fluke or even off the jetties. But this current break here looks absolutely immaculate, and actually is a pretty good opportunity for us to cast around, maybe jig some fish off this point. So I had one little spike weakfish eat our fluke setup earlier, and now that we're stuck in the slack water, I thought we should be able to persuade a couple more fish to bite. Just working it real slow, jigging along the bottom with the current, and hopefully gonna run into somebody hungry down there. Oh, what is that? Croaker? Yeah, look at that. First catch of the day is a little baby croaker there. Send this guy back. Not really gonna be keeping many fish today. See ya, dude. There's a fish. Oh, what we got there? This does not feel big at all. Oh, buddy. All right, species, wrong size. Tiny little micro fluke right there on the jerk shad. Look at that little guy. He's so small, he's only got one side. All right, send him back. Quite the multi-species array so far here on the jerk shad, and this spot just looks so good. There's got to be some more fish, and maybe even some bigger fish lurking in this current over here. There's a fish. Please be a weakie. All I wanted was one weakfish. Yes, weakfish. Oh, we got him finally. Oh man, and he spit it right there. I just had to land this guy to add to our species count for the day. That's the third one I've hooked. Tiny little, maybe 8-9 inch spike weakfish right there. All right, and let's send him back real quick. See you, buddy. Phew. Been getting plenty of bites here on the fluke, but they're mostly smaller fish, real short flounder, croaker, and those tiny weakfish. So I think right now we're gonna head over to these rocks along over here, see if we can't jig up some bigger fish. But we're almost at the end of the outgoing tide anyway, so we might be able to go get some more fiddlers, get back on the bridge or some other structure, and find ourselves some more sheep, or find ourselves a sheep's head. Stay tuned, quite the multi-species day so far. Got a couple hours left to fish till these storms start rolling in. So stay tuned. You. All right, folks, and that's where we're gonna wrap up this kayak send. So nothing really extravagant, just kind of a little bit of everything. Caught some real nice tog, caught that striped bass, which is pretty much the only reason I made this video. That was quite a surprise. And also caught my first weakfish of the year. So caught some other species as well, croaker, summer flounder. But really, the fish that evaded me the most was the sheep's head. So sheep's head are routinely caught here in New Jersey, but they are pretty difficult to catch, especially if the conditions are not exactly ideal. And for whatever reason, I was there at the top of the tide, ran out of crabs at the top of the tide, and I think I might have missed the optimal bite window in that regard. But with that being said, folks, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you could hit the like and subscribe button, I do appreciate both those things. And yeah, just an average summer fishing day here in New Jersey. I'll catch you folks in the next one, hopefully with something a little bit more extreme than this. See ya.